Hi and welcome back to Manhattan's Renters Coaching Corner. Today we're going to cover a very exciting subject, which is how long will it take me to get approved for my apartment? And the question can be asked and should be asked by clients that are coming from out of town or clients that are in town. It's very important for a client to know how long it will take them to get approved for an apartment. And that's a great question because the answer for that is actually not that simple, because in Manhattan there are hundreds and thousands of different buildings and management companies, and each of them have their own little way and their own wants and needs to actually accomplish to get somebody approved. And we've discussed in our other series what the approval process is and what is required, but how long it will take can vary. And just to give you an estimate of what that actually means, we'll have to break up the time frame into three different types of buildings. Okay, and three different types of buildings are things we discussed as well in our previous series, which one of them is a rental building, which means the whole building is only apartments that can be rented. The second one is condominiums. That means that the whole building, each unit is owned by individual owner or corporation. The third one is co-ops, corporations, which is a whole building that each unit, a shareholder in a corporation for that specific unit. So those three types of buildings. Let's cover first of all, and the most common one for renters is the entire rental building. How long does it take to get approved? Assuming all the paperwork we discussed before is submitted to the managing company or to the owner, the rental process can be anywhere from a couple of hours to 24, 48, or even 3 days to get approved. Each company has got their own process and their own steps to actually take, but you can expect to be approved once you have all the paperwork within hours to up to 3 days for approval. That's how long it will take for a rental building to normally approve you, as long again as you have submitted all your paperwork and have given them every single piece of document that they need to be able to look at the entire picture to have the approval done and invite you to come sign leases. The next one, which will be a condominium. A condominium, it's a little bit more of a process because a condominium has a different process to apply for an apartment. First of all, the first step will be to apply for the apartment through the actual owner of the unit. The actual owner of the unit would go ahead then and approve the tenant. So that means the owner would get the documentation from the tenant, the credit and everything, and approve the tenant. However, once that is done, the tenant is required to fill out a board package, which is a condominium board package that needs to be submitted to the managing company and to the board itself to get what we call the waiver of the right of first refusal. That's a little bit tongue swirler there. Okay, so the board package gets completed, gets sent in to receive the waiver of the right of first refusal, which means the condominium board keeps the right to refuse somebody into the building should they decide to do that, even though the owner has approved them. Okay, so that process will take a little bit longer. Once you submit the paperwork to the owner, which is the first step, may take 2 or 3 days. Okay, once the owner has accepted that and you have completed the board package, which may take a few more days, could take up to a week or 10 days to complete the board package. Once it's complete, it gets sent to the managing company. Most managing companies try and expedite this as quickly as possible, but keep in mind that this whole process may take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks additional to the week that took you to put the board package together. So for a condominium, you may be looking at 3 to 4 or even 5 weeks to be able to move into the condominium. So make sure your time frame of your move-in is accordingly. On the other hand, we have the third kind of building, which is a co-op. In the co-op, we have the different process as well. It's actually very similar to a condominium. The only thing is the co-op may take a little bit longer because many times the co-op may want to interview the tenant as well. So that will take more scheduling. And in addition to that, the co-op also has a right to accept or reject a tenant into the building. Okay, so a co-op, you can expect to be able to move in or to get approved anywhere from 2, 3, 4, or even 6, or maybe even 8 weeks to be able to move into a co-op building. So just to recap quickly, the time frames, easiest one is obviously a rental building. A couple hours to a couple of days, you will get approved. A condominium, excuse me, a condominium, you will go ahead and get approved anywhere from 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that. A co-op, normally 2, 4, 6, or even 8 weeks, up to 8 weeks to get approved for a co-op. That's a time frame. Make sure you are searching at the right apartment. Make sure if your time frame is short, that you do not go to condos and co-ops, that you know that the process will take longer, unless you can wait a couple of days to move in, which in many cases may be worth it. If you're going to wait for a few days but stay there for 2 years, sometimes for the price it's worth the extra few days of getting approved, but that's entirely up to your schedule. Okay, hope that all helps, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.